Good morning, children. Now we are going to start the fourth chapter in botany, that is the reproductive morphology. It is a part of plant morphology, but we will be discussing in this chapter about the reproductive organs of the flower or plant's body. Already previous chapter we have discussed about the vegetative structures, that means root, stem and leaves. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about the flowers, fruits and seeds. So before every chapter I used to give introduction, so this chapter is also not an exception. So what we are going to say about this now, in this chapter flowers have been universal. We are going to say the introduction about the flowers. Flowers have been a universal cultural object for millennia. Long years back, that people are using the flowers as a cultural aspect. They are an important aesthetic elements in everyday life and have played a highly symbolic role in our culture throughout the ages. Exchange of flower marks the respect, affection, happiness and love. But the biological purpose of flower is totally different from the way we use the flower and perceive in our day-to-day life. So flowers, so how it is important to the plant, how it is different from these cultural aspects. Flower we are going to discuss in this chapter, which helps the plant to reproduce of its own kind. And this chapter we are going to discuss about the flowers, their arrangement, development of fruits, seeds, which are considered as the reproductive units of a plant. So flowers, fruits and seeds, these are the three things we are going to discuss in this topic. So now first we will be discussing that is called the inflorescence. Inflorescence is nothing but the axis, plant body on the stem, how the flowers are arranged. Flowers are arranged in a particular fashion on the plant axis is called the inflorescence. Sometimes you can see single flower also on the plant, but sometimes flowers are arranged in certain fashion on the plant axis, which is called the inflorescence. Why the flowers to be grouped and arranged in certain fashion? Now if the flowers are arranged and grouped together, that will be attracting the pollinating agents such as insects, flowers, and fortunately plants will be benefited by pollination, by the flowers, by the insects. So function of inflorescence, what is underlined there? The function of inflorescence is to display the flowers for effective pollination and facilitate the seed dispersal. The grouping of flowers in one place gives a better attraction to the visiting pollinators, that means pollinating agents, and maximize the energy of the plant, maximize the chances of pollination to the plants. Now next, but that is the introduction. Now main part we are going to discuss about the types of inflorescence. There are two criteria on which the inflorescence is classified. So first criteria is based on the position of the inflorescence on the plant's body. The inflorescence is of three different types. What are the three different types? If the inflorescence is arising from the tip of the plant body, it is called terminal inflorescence. Based on the position of inflorescence, it may be classified in three major types. First type, it is called the terminal. Inflorescence grows as a part of the terminal shoot. Example is raceme of Nerium oleander. Nerium flower I used to say idli poo in Tamil generally it is called, where The inflorescence can be seen at the terminal part of the stem. So that type of inflorescence is called the terminal inflorescence. Second type, it is called axillary. Yesterday only we have told what do we mean by axillary, from the axil of the leaf. How it is forming? Now when the branches or leaf is developing from the node, it forms an axil with the stem. So from this axil region, if the inflorescence is born, this type of inflorescence is called the axillary inflorescence. Inflorescence present in the axil of the nearest vegetative leaf. Example, hibiscus, Rosa sinensis, or it is called the shoe flower. Number 3, third type, it is called the cauliflorous. Cauliflorous. Inflorescence developed directly from the stem. Woody trunk. Example, typical example, jackfruit. Jackfruit, in the fruit is that fruit is actually a type of female inflorescence. 10th standard also we used to discuss. So jackfruit is actually the modified inflorescence, whole inflorescence, female inflorescence develop into jackfruit. And if you are having the experience, you may be knowing that one, the jackfruit is developing from the trunk or main stem of the plant body. That type of inflorescence is called the cauliflorous. So they are based on the position of the inflorescence is classified into 3 main types. Now second criteria is based on the branching pattern and other characters. Inflorescence, they are classified into 4 different types. So this is the major part we are going to discuss in this chapter. So based on the branching pattern and other characters. What are the other characters? The number and arrangement of flowers. How many numbers of flowers are there? And what is the arrangement of the flowers? And some other specialized structures. That one by one when we will be discussing we can see also. So based on all these characters, inflorescence is of 4 different types. First type, it is called the racemose inflorescence, or it is also called indeterminate. I will explain why it is called indeterminate. Second type, it is called cymose, cymose, M-O-S-C, or it is also called determinate. Third type, it is called mixed inflorescence, mixing of both racemose and cymose. That's why it is called combination of racemose and cymose. That's why it is called mixed inflorescence. And fourth type, it is called special type of inflorescence which do not confine to these patterns, not cymose, not racemose. So first 2 types we have to be very much careful to understand. So all the remaining 2 types will be very easy for us. Now first we are going to discuss about the racemose inflorescence. Difference between racemose and cymose I will come after explaining both the types. So first one is called the racemose inflorescence. It is also called indeterminate. Why it is called so? Now in this type of inflorescence, that means racemose inflorescence, the inflorescence axis shows unlimited growth. The growth of the inflorescence axis will be taking place continuously. That's why it is not determined. It is not determinate. Continuous. It's not limited growth. Unlimited growth. That's why the term is used called indeterminate. The central axis of the inflorescence possesses terminal bud, and because of this terminal bud, the inflorescence axis will be growing continuously. Produce lateral flowers, and flowers will be developing on this axis laterally. This type of inflorescence is called the racemose inflorescence. So first important characteristic feature is in this type of inflorescence the axis will be growing continuously and the flowers will be growing on this inflorescence axis. How the flowers will be growing? The older flowers will be there at the base of the inflorescence axis, and the younger flowers will be there towards the apex or tip, tip of the inflorescence axis. So these are the 2 important characteristic features. What are they? The first one, inflorescence axis will be growing continuously, which is called the indeterminate growth. And the flowers will be arranged in such a way that older flowers will be there at the base of the inflorescence axis and the younger flowers will be there towards the apex. So that these two important characteristic features with which we will be explaining everything. Now this racemose inflorescence is further classified into three major types, divided into three major types based on underlying the growth pattern of the main axis. It will be indeterminate growth, but the growth pattern, sometimes main axis elongated, one type, main axis shortened. Growth is there, but main axis will be shortened. Third one is called main axis will be flattened. Main axis flattened. These are the three major types. Now all these three major types, if we see, again it is further each and every type of these three divided into different types. When the main axis elongated, it is of 6 types. It is very easy. I will say the clue how to keep in your memory. First one is called the simple raceme. So if we know simple raceme, second type it is called panicle. You should write accordingly how I will be discussing. So simple raceme, panicle, or it is also called compound raceme. Second type is called spike and spikelet. Third type, that is fourth over. Third type is called catkin. Fifth type is called the spadix. So this is the way to keep in your arrangement also. This is the way to arrange the types of the racemose inflorescence where the main axis is elongated. 6 types are there. So first one we will be saying that is called the simple raceme. What is this? Now in this type of inflorescence, the main axis will be growing unbranched. That is the important word. Unbranched main axis on which the pedicellate flowers. What do you mean by pedicellate flowers? Pedicel of the flower. What do you mean by pedicel? The stalk of the flower. Leaf, we know the petiole is called the stalk. But in case of flower, stalk is there. Cylindrical structure on which it is attached to the stem. That is called the pedicel. So if the flowers are having the pedicel, those flowers are called the pedicellate flowers. If the flowers are not having the pedicel, those flowers are called the sessile flowers. These two terms again. So simple raceme in this type of inflorescence, the main axis will be unbranched on which the pedicellate flowers born in acropetal fashion or acropetal succession. What do you mean by acropetal? Then the older flowers will be at the base and the younger flowers will be towards the apex. This type of arrangement is called acropetal arrangement. Example, mustard, Crotalaria retusa. Any one example to be kept in your memory. Now, simple raceme we have completed. Now we are going to compound raceme, or it is also called the panicle. Here what will happen? What is the difference? Now the main axis will be branched on which the pedicellate flowers will be born. Simple, only one word is different, so we can make difference between the simple raceme and compound raceme. So compound raceme, is another term is called the panicle. A branched raceme is called the panicle, where the pedicellate flowers will be born in racemose manner. So example is mangifera, mango flower, mango plant. The inflorescence is compound raceme. Till here. Okay, thank you children.